Okay, hello everybody. Hello, welcome all Zealots and Immortals to the very first episode of the new, hopefully weekly, Zealot Hockey Show, Crosscheck. It's going to be hosted by me, Moose, and I'm going to give you guys just a quick intro into how the show is going to work, and then we'll just introduce our guests and get going from there. First, so the show has two main components. The first one is just going to be getting to know our guests a little bit. I'll be asking them different types of questions and stuff like that, and we'll get to know them on a human level, not just a Zealot hockey level. And after that, we'll be having three short debates where the guests will go head-to-head, one-on-one, to win your votes by debating a variety of topics. Some of them are going to be Zealot hockey related, some are not, and you guys, as the viewers, will decide who the winners are through using polls. So first I'll quickly introduce myself. For those who don't know me, I'm Moose, used to be commissioner, owner, now league manager in charge of stats. If you have stat problems, PM me any day of the week. My greatest accomplishments include being the Zealot Hockey Dance Champion and being the Siege exclamation mark champion. And greatest of all, I'm BFFs with Eric, so Prof, you can suck on it. Without further ado, let me introduce my guests. First up, he holds the record for most points and assists in a season. He's the current commissioner, the Texan typing machine. His words per minute are unreal. It's Kurt. After that,
it's me.
That's Kurt right there.
It's me, Kurt. How's it going, Moose? How are you doing?
Great, great. Let me just get to our second guest real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Kurt's BFF, Reimer, is going to be our second guest today. He holds the record for the most shutouts in a season. Of course, a longtime member of the community, fantastic content creator of such things as Rhyme Time. He's currently the CHL owner of the Chihuahuas and newly a dad. Welcome, Reimer.
Thanks, Moose. Glad to be here. Great show, great show. Top 10.
Yeah, I'm quite a fan. This is definitely, without a doubt, in the top 5 shows that have ever been hosted in Zealot hockey history, I gotta say.
Thank you, thank you. And of the 6 already existing ones, I'll take a top 5 any day of the week. So, do you guys want to just say hello, introduce yourselves a little bit further if you want?
Oh, Rhyme, you can go first, buddy.
Sure, I'll just talk about what's on the screen right now. So yeah, my name is Reimer. You probably know that already. Actually, fun thing about the Chihuahuas is that I probably should have chosen a team name that I knew how to spell better. Because you know how annoying it is to keep trying to type Chihuahuas over and over and every single thing CHL related and getting it wrong? It's very sad.
It is, it is.
Yeah. I haven't played in quite a while. It's been a very busy week for me, but could not miss out on Crosscheck, one of my favorite shows that CH has ever produced. Very hyped for it. Very, very hyped.
Okay, thank you for that, Reimer. Kurt, a quick word before we get going?
My name is Kurt. You probably have never heard of me before.
Who?
You probably never heard of me before. I'm just some no-namer from Texas. I once played in Pro League in European Draft League Season 2. And, I had a pretty good season. Tunnel Snakes rule. Just want to throw that one in there. Yes, it is true. The rumors are true. I have been a typing machine. I've been known to type a decent, nice hefty 100 words a minute. Which really isn't that good. But, I'm happy about it. And I'm very, very proud of that. And, I'm here to, do what must be done.
Okay, well, thank you for those great intros. We're going to just go right into it because we don't want to waste any time. Our first segment to just get to know you guys a little bit will be called Let's Get Juicy, sponsored by Two Deuce.
Beautiful, great sponsor.
Great sponsor here, the master
What
of
a
all
graphic.
juice. Thank you. In this segment, I'm
That's
simply
sponsor space in the top right, kid. You didn't even use it.
no. That's the show sponsor, which we are
okay.
still seeking. This is segment
Okay.
sponsor. Is Two Deuce.
Okay, my bad.
So in this segment, it's very simple. I'm gonna just give you guys a category, and you're gonna tell me your favorite thing from that category. For example, I'll say candy, and you can say like Kit Kat or whatever your favorite candy happens to be. It's very simple.
Okay.
So we don't talk over each other. Kurt, you can answer first every time. Okay. So you guys ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. I was
Okay.
born ready, Moose.
All right. Favorite sports team?
Favorite sports team, Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
The
And,
Reimer Chihuahuas.
yeah. You know.
Very solid choices. Favorite delivery food?
Favorite delivery food has to be, I gotta say that it has to be just the basic ass cheese pizza from Papa John's. They definitely know what's up.
Didn't see that one coming. Rhyme?
I would have to go with pizza too, but not Papa John's. Probably closer to Pizza, a Canadian brand. They're okay.
Okay.
They're okay.
They're just okay.
Favorite karaoke song?
Um,
If you're going out to karaoke, what's your go-to?
my favorite karaoke song has to be, "Don't Stop Believin'" really gets played out. I gotta say it's definitely a very played out song. So I kind of like to change it up a little bit, and when the party is going on and everyone's getting lit, I just stand in the corner, stand up on that countertop, and I just start bawling out the national anthem. That's the best one for me.
Okay. Rhyme?
Actually, Kurt, could you perform a little bit live for us right now?
Yeah, that would be,
An impromptu performance of the national anthem?
Is this on? Is this on? Is this on?
It's on.
No, you gotta pay for that, man.
Whoa.
Oh, he
You
let
gotta
us
pay
over
for
on.
that.
that ZH money, buddy. I don't do that stuff for free. Everyone thinks I do it for free, No, I'm in it for the paycheck.
What a dirty guy. Hopefully your sponsors can hit us up next time, Moose.
Yeah, he's still waiting for a show sponsor, unfortunately. Anyways, go ahead, Ryan.
My go-to, well, the last time I went to karaoke, I ended up, I usually just do something easy like Eminem, something like that. But last time I mixed it up a bit. I did Grease's "You're the One That I Want." That one, that was a great song. Top 10 choice.
Excellent choices. Our next, we'll do 2 more of these because we are running a little bit over time. Your favorite news anchor?
My favorite news anchor.
Yeah.
Does it have to be real news or can it be parody news? Because I mean, if it's parody, then it's gotta be the great Jon Stewart. Though he is retired.
Yeah, we'll go with the real news anchors.
Oh, real ass news
Yeah.
anchor? Oh, come on, dude. You really think I actually watch real news? Come on, buddy. Who do you think
What
you're
a
talking
guy.
to? Brian Williams is without a doubt my favorite news anchor. Takes balls to lie to America in the face and just pretend like nothing else happened.
Okay.
That's all I got. Yeah, that's
Reimer?
all I got. That's really all. Mostly just because I can't think of any other news anchors because I literally don't watch actual news. I just read it.
We're learning a lot about Kurt today. Reimer?
Wow. Can I say Ron Burgundy?
I'll say no because I said no to Jon Stewart.
Rip. Okay, I honestly, I can't think of a news anchor. The only name that I keep thinking about is Pierce Brosnan, but he's like James Bond and not a news anchor.
Yeah,
I might have. Oh, Kevin Frankish from CP24. That's my answer. It's the only name that I can think of.
Okay, well you.
Or Barbara Walters.
How do you spell that last
Walters.
name?
Is she considered an anchor?
I guess I'll accept Barbara Walters. I was thinking
Okay.
something along the lines of Peter Mansbridge, at least from you, Rhyme.
Oh, rip. I don't watch
It's a
the
nice
news.
tie that he has. He has really nice tie and nice little suspenders. That's real nice.
That was
Good.
yeah. I think this was my favorite question so far.
It's the top. It's one of the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Top 2.
we'll do one more here. Your favorite horror movie of all time?
Ooh.
Favorite horror movie. I mean, I gotta say, hands down. I mean, it's a horror movie to some people, but it's just a cult classic to me. It's gotta be The Thing, the 1980s version with John Carpenter. That movie is literally the best. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go see it. It is a perfect movie. I love it.
Very scary indeed. Rhyme?
If you want to watch something very scary and sad, watch the season 5 finals of the ZHL. I tried to not watch it. I don't want to be scared too much. Actually, one of my favorites that I never watched horror movies until I started dating my girlfriend, and then she made me. Probably, if you ever heard of It Follows, it's basically like a horror movie where you get an STD and then this thing will follow you everywhere you go, and it will just walk up to you, and it's like this naked old lady, but it changes, so you never know who it is, but there's always somebody walking up to you, and it will just fuck you when you die. And for some reason, that gave me nightmares for 3 weeks. So anytime someone came to my door, I was fucking petrified that someone would like, oh god, is it time?
That sounds terrifying. I'm definitely not watching that. Okay.
That's a really graphic movie, man.
Yeah,
it really was not something I'm taking my daughter to see.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Good man.
Okay, we'll cut this segment a little bit short so we can move on to our next segment, which is going to be called Never Have I Ever. And it is
Oh my god, I hate playing this game.
sponsored by the magnificent Jaden Smith. Essentially, I'm just going to say a statement, and you guys are going to say I have or I have not, and I may or may not ask you to explain further if there's some juicy information. I don't know what these questions are. I got a dear friend of mine to write them, so I can participate in this section with you guys as well. So
Beautiful.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that I haven't done in life. I feel like, you know.
I mean, I told them to keep it as
tailored.
close to ZH as possible, but
okay.
I don't know
Never
what they
have
are.
you ever lost a truck.
I have lost a truck. Well, I mean, I found it, you know, so it's, you know, it was lost but found.
Hide and seek truck edition.
Hiding truck.
Okay, Moose.
All right, our first one is never have I ever, scrolling down, skipped real life plans to watch or play in Zealot Hockey League.
Oh god.
I think I have.
Do you remember any particular situation?
I can say that I remember Wings of Liberty. It's not exactly Zealot Hockey, but it's kind of similar. But I think I have for Zealot Hockey too, or in some sort of way. But in Wings of Liberty, I was in this game with a Terran, and I played Zerg, and it was like down to like the entire map. Like we played for like an hour and a half at that point, and he had planetary fortresses, and I had Ultra, so I couldn't really do anything, and neither could he. And my parents came into my room, and they're like, "We're going to a wedding now. Get dressed." And I'm like, "No." Anyways, we stayed for another hour until I just was like, "Fuck it," and we were late to the wedding because I tried to win a ladder game.
Okay, but you still made it, so that's you know, that's okay. That counts. Kurt?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. I mean, I always have my schedule like laid out in advance, like for like ZHL or you know, like my casting schedule was really a thing. And my ex-girlfriend would always get pissed because I always had it like planned out, like, you know, like a month in advance or whatever. And like she got salty a couple times because of that. But I never canceled plans with her to do Zealot Hockey. I just always had plans already.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit different. But, you know, I guess you could count it.
So you avoided that by good planning. I don't have good planning, so I've done this a couple times. The last one I can remember was like season 5. One of the 2 times I played ZHL for the IR team. I skipped a movie that I was supposed to go to with a big group. I was like, sorry guys, I'm not feeling well. Okay, moving on to our next one. Never have I ever stolen candy from a baby.
I've never done that before.
I don't think I have.
Rhyme, you're going to be guilty
sure you
of
haven't?
this
You
very
have a
soon.
baby.
Very soon.
You're gonna be stealing it. The
probably
candy.
Yeah.
Keep it away from her. You know.
That's the truth. I'm trying to keep her on a diet, so I'll just eat everything.
Okay.
That's-
yeah.
yeah.
Just eat it before she gets it. Yeah.
That's what my thinking is. I've done that a lot. Never have I ever bought something from a store to use it once, then returned it.
I've worked retail, so I would never do that. And anybody that does that is a scum human being, and you know, you deserve to have your feet lit on fire.
Ooh.
Pretty harsh
Whoa.
words. Rhyme,
Have you done this, Rhyme?
Could this be
Be
the end of the
honest.
friendship?
Is this the end of the friendship?
I've never done it, but my parents got banned from buying electronics at
Oh,
Costco
man.
because they would always buy like a DVD player or something, and then they would return it when the new one came out. So they're just like, okay, guys, seriously, stop doing this, and they're not allowed to buy electronics from Costco anymore.
Okay.
Wow,
Very rip.
Yeah, no, I haven't done that either.
that's impressive.
All right, our last question in this segment is: Never have I ever met other ZH players. Now I know all three of us have. Do you want to just talk about who you met? I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, Ryan, you first.
Oh, me first? Okay. I once went to a strip club. I think I posted about this. I'm not sure. With VJ, my girlfriend, and Rennie. And I can say this. I've never actually told the story on stream.
VJ is Fable, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll just skip to the parts about them because it's more interesting. So Rennie had this like stripper all over him, right? Anyways, she was like touching herself or whatever. How PG does this need to be? Because this is probably gonna get a little bit graphic.
It's it's whatever you want it to be. It's a free for all show, really.
Okay,
It's up to the guests.
This part is rated M for mature.
All right, Quackster, turn it off real quick.
So this girl's talking to Rennie about just how hot he is, right? Because she has a thing for him. And because, he's like, I'm the #1 defender in ZH. Anyways, so she's like rubbing herself and then puts her hand on Rennie. And then Rennie's like, here's a 20, take my friend to the back. So she goes with me to the back because Rennie's a really generous friend. Anyways, like she like touches me with her hand, not like touches me, but like anyways, we make physical contact. Okay. And then I return to the table, the whole time she's talking about Rennie, which is really weird. She's like, wow, like your friend's so hot, and I'm like, thanks. So we go back, and then they're like, oh my god, did she touch you? And I'm like, why? And then they're like, because she has like Rennie juice all over her. And so I had Rennie juice on me by association. The other story is that it was around closing time, so VJ hadn't gotten a lap dance yet, so we're just like all pointing at him as the strippers make their last like rounds looking for a customer. So we told VJ to sit by himself at a table so he'd look like he's easy picking. Okay. And then we all just start pointing at him, right? Like, take this dude, take this kid. So a stripper comes up to him. Actually, the stripper came to him earlier. Like, VJ was like, nah, because he's a nice guy. He doesn't want to get a lap dance. And so she's like, what's wrong with you? Is your dick asleep? So she kind of burnt him hardcore. So you can ask VJ if his dick's still asleep. I don't think it is. And
VJ, if you can update us on that in the Twitch chat, that'd be great. Anyways, keep going.
So anyways, Anastasia was her name. She took VJ to the back, right? And then so security is kicking us out. So we had to stand outside for like half an hour. Like, I'm exaggerating, like 20 minutes or so. Like, it felt like eternity. Like, VJ was in the back. He was the only guy in the back with that stripper for a good 20 minutes. And I'm not sure what he did in there. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they exchanged numbers. So I'd like him to tell me how Anastasia is doing one of these days. But that's my story.
Okay. I don't think either of us can beat that.
I don't think you can beat that. Holy shit, man. I've never even been to a strip club before. That just sounds like way too damn stressful for me. Like, that's just not gonna happen. So I met Ken one time in Seattle. Last spring break, I flew to Seattle on an unrelated thing with my ex-girlfriend. She actually wanted to go up there, and I was like, oh, fucking hey, Ken lives in that area. I was like, oh, hell yeah. And so I let Ken know. It would have been more epic because we originally had tickets to go see the Seattle Sounders, which is like a semi-pro hockey team that was up there. So like that would have been fucking dope as hell, meeting in Zealot hockey and then like meeting each other in real life, like seeing an actual hockey game. That would be fucking sweet as hell. But unfortunately, he had training going on for his current job in construction, so he wasn't able to meet me that. But I still went to go see the game, and it was fucking awesome. Hockey's fun no matter where you are. So I saw Ken finally on the last fucking day. Like, I was there that we had available. I think it was like a Friday night or like Thursday night or something. Yeah. And anyway, so like me and Ken and Mia, we all met up at the one fucking Mexican place in like all of Seattle. So like if you ever go into Washington, you're gonna see nothing but teriyaki grills essentially, and Starbucks and coffee. I thought like us down here with like our Mexican places was like really bad because there's like a Mexican place on the corner of like every street, but like up there it's replaced with teriyaki essentially, and so it was kind of fucking lame. And it was like the saddest Mexican like bar or like cantina thing that I've like ever experienced in my life. And I was like, this is not Mexican at all. But I was like, whatever. They're far away, from the border, so I'll give them a pass. But Ken, you think he's hilarious like on TeamSpeak and like over the internet, but dude, he's just as fucking hilarious in real life, if not more. He's fucking gold. We then went to a piano bar, and it was like this piano bar where like these two guys would like take requests from like the crowd, and like they'd play piano and they like sing and shit, and it was fucking awesome. Went there, he picked up my drink tab even though I told him not to. He like refused, and he's like, "Nah, man, these are all on me." So he bought me like, I want to say like 5 or 6 beers, like all within a span of like an hour, and like he was really, I mean, he was, I thought like he was wanting something else from me, but definitely not that way, Ken's a great friend. But anyways, yeah, so I've told this story before, but, like, of course, once I get nice and toasted by, all the beer, he like leans into me once Mia goes to the bathroom, and he goes like, "Yo, so bro, like, you gotta join my clan." Like, but and of course I agreed to that, but he was like, "Oh man, I can't believe we're doing this. It's so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, it's really cool." And it was fucking sweet. And then he bought me a cab to head back home to my apartment, and that's all she wrote. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. Like if I ever get a chance to meet, Ken especially, if I ever get a chance to meet any other Zealot hockey players, I'm definitely not gonna pass up the opportunity. Even though Rush dodged me for an entire fucking weekend, we don't have to talk about that anymore. Anyways, that's my story.
What a story.
I've met Vapor very shortly, and his brother. His brother's super nice. And I met Tom very shortly, but not very interesting stories. I had like 5 minutes to talk to Tom in real life. I just happened to be going through Detroit at that point on a recent trip to Toronto. That was it. Anyways, we're done with that segment. That was very enlightening. Great stories from both of you. Let's move on to our final segment here before we get on to our debates.
Is that real, Rhyme? Is that a real story?
That was, in fact, a real story.
That's not made up. It just doesn't seem like something that, I don't know, that you'd like do, it seemed like a very good Jewish lad, and, wouldn't go...
Actually, speaking of Jewish, it looks like you have a Star of David above the cross-check logo, by the way. Very nice Jewish show.
Just in honor of the great Rhyme, of course I would have that.
Hanukkah hits coming to stores near you.
Yep, in the store near you.
Okay, our third and final round is called 3 for 3. Essentially, it's very simple again. This segment is sponsored by Team 3D, who are now recruiting new and up-and-coming players into their BM-free and highly educational environment. There's 3 questions. Each one will have 3 possible answers, and this will be sort of a warm-up to the debate. I'll ask you to give me a brief explanation for your answer of each question. Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go. First question. Who would you rather be stuck on a deserted island with? A country Ken who doesn't talk, a marker who sings 24/7, or a Rush who refuses to make face-to-face contact with you?
Well, that's really tough. Kurt, you go first.
I've been in many of these situations before in the past, Moose, and I gotta say that Rush, not making any contact with me would probably be the most helpful. Ken not being able to say anything, it just depressed me too much. Knowing that greatness was in front of me and he just couldn't use it, that would just depress me, and that would probably make me kill myself. Well, just to the same token, Marker singing 24/7 would also make me kill myself. Therefore, Rush not making contact with me would be the most, obvious and logical choice for me to survive on said desert island.
Okay. Rhyme?
This is probably tough. I don't know what country Ken would want to do with me. That's my main issue. I think Rush, because you gotta go with the whole racist route of things. I'm not gonna explain that joke, but I'm sure someone will get it. Kappa.
I mean, personally, I already listen to markers singing 24/7, so that would not be a change for me. So I'll take that any day of the week. And then we'll move on to our second question. Who would you rather have be a babysitter for your baby? So, Ryan, this is super applicable to you.
This is very applicable.
First choice is Amin, who, keep in mind, can potentially leave without saying anything at any second. Your second choice is Crit, who, keep in mind, can potentially just rage quit the job at any second. Or TK, who, keep in mind, can potentially argue his salary with your baby and leave at any second.
Your baby.
Okay. I'm definitely not doing TK because, yeah. I would do Amin. I think because he won season 2. He's a proven champion.
Okay.
And I'm just going to pray that he stays. Otherwise, she's going to be fending for herself.
Okay. Kurt?
Yeah, well, clearly, I mean, I don't know if I'm supporting in this, this Reimer decision here. I really can't wait to get to that debate, Moose. But I definitely I got to go with the great Crit. Crit in very good physical condition, as we all know, and I think he could really teach something to my little shits for kids, and get them into shape, whooping them, and I think that'd be a great environment to raise my babies in.
Okay. I mean, I would know who to take here. I'd probably take TK and just pay him a lot before going. That way he can't argue his salary. But I can't really see any way to avoid that. Let's move on to our final question, and this one still has to do with babysitters for some reason.
Oh boy.
If you were a babysitter, who would you rather babysit? An 84-year-old Dagius, a 12-year-old Blitzerg, or Goza?
Oh, fuck.
Very simple choices.
Oh boy.
Well, I can give you guys a second to think about it. I'd take Blitzer because I feel like we would fight over something for like 10 minutes, and then we'd make up and then be cool for the rest of the time. So I can babysit a 12-year-old.
Yeah, but then you just argue about something else like 10 minutes down the line. I mean, it doesn't, it's just a repetitive cycle.
It's true.
Clearly, I think the winner here has got to be the 84-year-old Dagius. Originally, whenever I started talking to Dags, like he's an asshole. And, yeah, he is an asshole, but I feel like he kind of has he's kind of lighthearted about it. I feel like, and it doesn't always come through. Dagius, and plus once people start getting older, they get even more less fucks are given at that point. And I think Dagius would have some really great stories to tell at that kind of an age. So my money would be on Dagius for sure.
I think Goza for the entertainment value. I could probably get him just to duel. If I just got him to duel for 2 hours and then his parents came home, I think that'd be okay. Otherwise, I might have to call the police over what he's Googling. Very scary stuff.
Alright, now that that's over, we're just going to go ahead and jump into our debate rounds. I'll give you guys a very brief explanation as to what's happening with that. We're going to turn super serious right now. We went from having fun to super serious, and then we'll turn back to having fun a little bit later on. Okay, so debates, Rhyme and Kurt are going to go one-on-one. I may interject some questions here and there to get the conversation going if it stops. There's 3 debate topics. 2 of them were told to the competitors ahead of time. The third one was kept secret. Each debate covers a different topic. Some will be Zealot hockey related, some will not, as I said before. And each debate will have a poll where you guys can vote for who you think the winner was. And please don't vote with whose point of view you agree with, but rather the person who you think made the best case for their side. So our first debate, and
Sorry, I just read what Jay said in Twitch chat.
Alright, there actually is, but I'm not going to say it.
Jay is literally the #1 commenter, NA, for sure, on both Twitch and the forums. Jay, you're doing God's work, buddy. Keep it up.
Okay, first topic of debate is going to be that experienced players, this is going to be Zealot hockey related, this is going to be a serious one, experienced hockey players should go easy on newcomers in pub games. and Reimer's going to be arguing the case for that, and Kurt is going to be against that. So Reim, you can go ahead and start, since you're making the case for it.
All right, sure. I got a couple of points for this because I think it's very key and very important on the actual growth of Zealot hockey. So firstly, it's the only place that these new players really play in. So it's kind of a safe space for them to learn the game because pro players, they can be invited to in-houses or compete in the leagues or the tournaments. Pros can even practice with their team, but they won't get better by playing pubs. So there's no point for them to actually try their heart out because they're not going to get better mechanically, and they're just going to be unbalancing these games. New players literally don't know nothing about all these tournaments. So if an experienced player comes into a pub game, their role should be tutelage and kind of being the gateway into the Zealot hockey community. Additionally, if they just do a shit show and run over all these new players, they're hurting the reputation of the league and good players.
Sure, the reputation. Oh, that's a good one, Ron. That's a good one. That's great.
Okay, all right, Curdy Pie. You hold on
All right,
there.
buddy.
So basically,
yeah, you think the reputation? Oh, okay. All right.
It
Keep it
sends
civil,
a
keep it
message.
civil.
It sends a message that you're being a selfish player, and it reinforces bad habits. That if a really experienced player is in the lobby filled with no names, do you think they're going to pass anybody? No, they're just going to keep trying to score themselves, and that's going to.
Oh no, man! Have
bad
you seen
habits.
Peter Oh man, have you seen Peter in pubs? Man, he's out there passing like crazy, man. You know, there's a lot of great talent that passes. That's garbage. That's baloney. Don't believe it.
This guy. Well, it's about going easy on new players rather than trying to troll and shithouse on them, which is why going easy and including them in the play is very important, as opposed to just trying to raffle stomp them. Additionally, that goes to the whole killing interest perspective, where blowouts aren't fun, whether you're casting or playing in them. It's not fun to be in that. Look at any cast where there's a mercy and one team is significantly stronger than the other. A pro player that's trying their very best to score and ruin the game is just making the game, Zealot hockey, unenjoyable for these new players, and they won't want to keep playing. The last point I have regarding why they should go easy and not just try to score and ruin the game is because players that, as the game progressed, how we had Pro League and we had competitive Zealot hockey, the players that originally had to play with the pro players, they lost interest because they weren't good. They didn't get to play. Look at people like Navy SEALs, Tura, Bobby O, Wildfire, all from Season 1. These are people that practically just came back or they don't play at all. That's because they're not very good compared to the professional players.
Wow, you're saying that they're not very good? Really? Really, Ron? You're just gonna do them like that? Really?
Compared to Proster, yeah.
Compared to Proster. Okay, let's just compare everybody to the greatest. All right, buddy.
Very easy.
Okay.
Now look
argument, buddy.
at pro players like Kasora, J Money, or Tom. The reason why these players got to excel while Navy SEALs and so got swept under the rug is because they had Pro League to grow their skills. Less skilled players need a place to compete, to develop, or they will get crushed and lose interest in the community. That's why pro players should go easy in pubs and be inclusive.
Okay, Ryan, let me challenge you on something you said. You said it's bad that having strong players to crush people and dominate them, that's going to disparage people. But wouldn't you agree that seeing good players practice their good techniques and show their good habits, even if it means they're beating your team, wouldn't that be a really good way to improve your skill? Just watching good players, even if you're losing to them, and replicating them?
Well, the thing about that is that also for their teammates, it's not exactly fun if you're a spectator in an actual game, right? Because when you say new players, these are people that have never actually played Zealot hockey before. I think it's great that they get to see these really good players play and do spin moves, and I think that's a good idea. But I also think being inclusive in these games and passing to them, it makes it more engaging, and they want to be in the play more. I mean, it's really cool to say Peter's passing to all these people, and that's what he should be doing, because it makes them part of the play. It lets them be better. You're not going to get better at the game if all you're doing is watching. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true, but I mean, if you're a new player, you have to be able to play.
Okay. Let me challenge you on something else you said. You said that the competitiveness or the over-competitiveness of players will drive people away. But I've had a lot of pub lobbies before where I do go very easy. And instead of trying my hardest, I actually spend my time typing tips or instructions or any helpful thing that I can point out to those new pub players, they end up leaving anyways. A thing happened yesterday where I can't remember who else was in the lobby, but I was teaching this guy the very simplest of things, like use X for sharp turns. If you're a goalie, press S to stop. And halfway through the game, he lost interest and left. So I don't think that, I mean, if you're looking at it from that perspective, even if you go easy on them and you're trying to help them, people who don't like Zealot hockey are not going to like it either way. Do you see my point?
I see your point. Counter to that, though, is for like every 9 or so people that, out of every 10 people that you do that for, sure, 9 or so may leave the community, but then you get that one person that sticks around, and it's because of that. EU had that whole fucking forum post where they drove people away because of how they were talking in pub games. I think being positive and inclusive will bring more people to the game. And I think it's good that you took the time to say that to him, because even if he doesn't play again, because it is hard, Zealot hockey is a hard game to play. Especially now, it's harder than ever. So I think it's good that you did that, and I think it will pay off, and there will be more people coming. That's why people pay for watermelon coaching, because there is an interest in it.
Okay. Kurt, you have any counterpoints?
Oh, well, clearly, I haven't had enough time here, Moose. I need to get my time in. So
Yeah,
let me just start from the beginning. I really expected this, quite honestly, from the Canadian himself, Mr. Reimer, having such a such a soft point, no backbone at all. Clearly, he just does not have very much terms in reality. And I just got to say, he mentioned the phrase of a safe space. I mean, we've seen this in colleges in the U.S. and it's been crazy. I mean, why? I mean, what more do you want? The suppression of the freedom of speech, buddy. I'm just saying. You know what, buddy? I'm speaking from the heart. Okay, I'm not a robot like you. I'm not reading from notes. This is all coming from the soul. Okay, so pro players should not be taking it easy on pubs. You know why? You know why?
Why?
It's because they're going to learn. They're going to learn. They're going to learn from playing against players with much better skill capacity than they have themselves. They're going to be going against the best in the world. And though they may be getting crud on like all over the place. Can I say crud? Is that allowing?
Okay.
Cool. I think compared to earlier.
Okay. Anyways, so they're going to be getting shit wrecked. Okay. But they may not be having that happen. They could be experiencing more passes by playing with very passive players. I mean, you can't be telling me that, are you going to tell me that offensive players, can't go hard, but, the good defensive players can? I mean, that just seems like a biased, really just point of view. That means that you're really locking down on the positions, and depending on, who is playing in the game, on how hard that is. I just don't fly. That doesn't fly with me. I really believe that everyone should, be having the same rules applied to them. So I don't really agree with that sort of, segregation mentality. But I must say, that this has been a wonderful point. Now I will say, Rhyme, that you did bring up some wonderful points there. But I got to say that participation trophies are just something that I do not believe in. It is not something that is great for Americans, and it is not something that is great for the world. Let's just make that point clear.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut it off right there.
Whoa, no rebuttal? Okay.
I'll let you get in a quick word before I cut it off.
Okay. I think there's a really big distinction between when Kurt and I were in pubs and when pubs, the state of them now. Because when Kurt and I first started playing, that's when everyone was new and everyone was learning at the same time. But now these people have like 2 years of an advantage over other players. So I just want to get that out there. Make it so that way Kurt, who's talking from a little bit of a holier-than-thou perspective, isn't entirely knowledgeable about the state of affairs, and that his opinion...
Oh, really? Oh, okay. You haven't seen me in pub games, spreading the great word.
Pub games?
Playing it in both the European and the North American servers. I've been very much participating in such a thing. You, Reimer, would do much better to be looking out into the pub scene.
Okay. That's going to be the end of that first debate. Good round, boys. Good round. We're going to move on to our second one. Second round is going to be right now, and this is going to be a death match between the two people that you are both fighting for. So,
Excuse me.
Rhyme is going to be battling for the Canadian legend Wayne Gretzky, equipped with a hockey stick and a bag of Doritos, while Kurt is going to be arguing for the American icon Uncle Sam with 2 medium cheese pizzas and a pizza slicer. Who would win in a death match? Go.
Who gets first?
Anyone can go first.
Kurt, do you want to take this one?
Like I said, fellow Americans, the Canadian, always the most passive out there, just can't really take a grasp on things. Oh wait, I need to change up. Like I said, the Canadians just really aren't feeling just really not able to take the bull by the horns, if you know what I mean. But Uncle Sam has always been there to kill many of our enemies and those foreigners overseas. And we're going to be building the greatest wall that ever existed at the end of 2016 once Trump is elected into office. I got to say, Uncle Sam's going to be very proud. He's killed thousands, if not millions, of people across the world in many different nations, and he's on an all much better KDR record on Uncle Sam than the Gretzky over there, But Uncle Sam, he just kills in multiple sports. He's not just a one-sport athlete. He kills in American football, the greatest sport that ever existed under God's green earth. He also excels at basketball, the greatest sport that, is underneath football. I just got to say that Uncle Sam's looking a lot better if you compare the two against each other. And let's not forget the cheese pizza. I mean, cheese pizza is one of the best pizzas that really exists out there. You're a goddamn communist if you like anything on top of your pizza other than cheese. Cheese pizza really is just the way to a person's soul. And with that at Uncle Sam's side, I think good old Uncle Sammy's going to be doing Wayne Gretzky in big time.
Rhyme, you got a response to that?
Well, brother. Let me play down some smacketh down on you. Okay. Let's dispel some of these falsehoods. Okay. First of all, Uncle Sam isn't even real. Okay. You can Google that. He's not a real person. Okay. He's a symbol of
Uncle
the American
Sam is real.
government. He's not real, boys and girls. He's not real. He's a symbol of the American government. Gretzky is real. He's not imaginary. Gretzky is the great one. That's where it all comes down to. Gretzky was as smart as he was skilled. He was known as the great one for his brilliance. Wayne Gretzky scored so much because of his raw talent and his ability to maneuver, to find holes. He had an incredibly long career despite people trying to injure him.
80 a page. Does anybody else feel that?
You wanna fight me, brother? Well, guess what? I'm gonna get my hockey stick because that's what us Canadians do. He was a coach as well, so it isn't just his talent, it's his mind. He has a winning strategy, which America lacked in the Vietnam War, brother. Second of all, hockey sticks have more range than your stupid little pizza cutters, boy. He could shoot barrages of chips at Uncle Sam from further away with that precision accuracy. And for those eyes, Uncle Sam's imaginary eyes are gonna be teary-eyed, covered in Dorito blood. Or get Dorito dust on his fingertips and touch all Uncle Sam's things. What's he gonna do? Everything's orange. Is that even his favorite color? I don't know, brother. Okay? And now up close, Gretzky and Uncle Sam, who wins? It doesn't matter, brother, because Gretzky could poke and prod at him with his hockey stick. He could hook him, he could slash him. Uncle Sam won't even get close, brother! That's all I got.
Man, I just gotta add in that Doritos, an American product. Enough said.
Doritos Inferno, brother, feel the heat.
Also playing in the American League, might I add.
Well, the Canadian Hockey League isn't exactly prestigious.
Yeah, wonder why that is, buddy. Because he doesn't have motherfucking Uncle Sam sitting over the top of the league, letting his balls hang on over the league with that great masculinity that he has. And Uncle Sam will have no problem debacling the great one himself. Though, yes, I do understand that he is a very great player, but he's no match to Uncle Sam.
Okay, brother, you listen up here, okay? You see all your Uncle Sam's a poster, and Wayne Gretzky will take his big old hockey stick and he's just gonna stick his hockey stick right through Uncle Sam's mouth. If you know what I'm saying, brother. If you know what I'm saying, brother. Tonight on SmackDown.
On SmackDown. Okay.
On cross-check.
You know what? I'll leave that right there. I don't need to say anything else. You guys go ahead and vote for who you think won that round. And we'll move on to our very last round of debate. This is concerning you two and your relationship. Reimer and Kurt. Okay, now we know you guys are a great duo. You ran Rhyme Time for 2 whole seasons together. Every show was great. You participated in awards and analysis shows together, and we know your chemistry is top-notch. Unreal.
Precise.
But when the Rhyme Time show was ending, we saw how much you guys not just loved the show, but loved each other, right? It was very special. It was very emotional. But now, let's put that love to the test. Who loves each other more? Does Reimer love Kurt more? Or does Kurt love Reimer more? That's going to be our third and final topic of debate. Go ahead.
Okay,
this was
bro.
not prepared by... This is the question that they didn't prepare for. So this is... I'm putting them both on the spot.
Okay. Well, first of all, Rhyme Time... I still think it was a mistake to call it Rhyme Time because Kurt was the heart and soul of Rhyme Time, whether you believe it or not, because it's not in the title. It really was. And I wish I called it something else just because of how much of a contribution Kurt made to the show. It wouldn't have been possible without him. I think none of ZHL would have really been possible without him. I don't know. I remember Kurt's ethos from when he first started playing as this huge legend. And then all I wanted to do was shut Kurt down. I had a hit list of 3 players, Maha, Bruce, Campbell, and Kurt. And that's kind of what kept me playing back then, was because I wanted to try to make Kurt's life miserable. But you never could, because he's just the best Texan there is. He lost his truck, and he made a threat about it, and I felt so bad about it. I really wanted to make a GoFundMe and get Kurt a truck, because I think he really deserves it. Oh. He's a really nice guy. I've watched all Kurt's YouTube videos at least 3 times, especially the Ice Bucket Challenge and him playing Little Big Planet with his ex-girlfriend. I really enjoy just hearing Kurt's voice, to be honest with you. There's just... I don't know what to say. There really is so much. I think Kurt is just such an incredibly nice guy. He's awesome. He checks in on me every now and again. I'm very bad at messaging people, but Kurt always likes to check in every now and again, make sure everything's okay, asks about the baby. He's just such a swell dude, such a gentleman, great friend. And if I were to go to Texas, I would want to and meet Kurt and hopefully take a ride in his truck. I can add more later. Kurt, I hope you're not crying, Kurt.
Well, it all began. In Zealot Hockey League, about the end of Season 3. That's really, when I met the great Reimer, as we know him, we really just didn't, we didn't really know each other very well before then, and, it was a fun time, in my life, but, really obviously what we were most well known for was the end of Season 4, when the great show of Rhyme Time started. That's when I really got to know the great person that you guys all know as Reimer, but I know him as Tyler, the father, the friend, the great one himself. He's really just he is the best content creator in Zealot Hockey, and he really just he really just elevates his content, to a whole new level. He's the Photoshop guy. He's the guy. You see those logos that he's created. All of his in one season are better than all the ones that I've made for the past 4 or 3. So he's really just more talented than me, and that's really. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. That's really just why I love Reimer more than he loves me. I just gotta say, my heart goes out to him. He's a great dad, and he's a loving he's a loving boyfriend to his girlfriend. Taking her out to strip clubs. That's one of the most goddamn romantic things that I've ever heard of in my life. And I really just I really just don't know what I'd do without Tyler in my life. I was really, struggling through season 5 and 4, and I was really struggling through them. But I always had Reimer. He was always there for me, and he really just helped me through the tough times. With my ex-girlfriend, and he really just gave me a purpose. I always had a smile on my face, anytime Rhyme Time was on that day. So I always look forward to it, and I owe it all to him. So that is why I love Reimer when he loves me.
No, that's not true, Kurt. That's not true, Kurt.
Wonderfully said.
I don't know. Kurt is such an amazing person. I mean, did you see that send-off for Rhyme Time he did? That was so touching, and it really was sweet. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, no, Reimer's in love with his Skype crew of Fable and Gorilla and Tom. And that's not true, because Kurt's like the closest friend I have in ZH that I never really talk to on Skype. And I think that shows the power of Zealot hockey, that two guys can just come together and profess their love for one another. And after Rhyme Time, the finale, my girlfriend called me, and she was really upset with me because she felt I never did enough for Kurt so that he knew how much I loved him. But Kurt did so much for me, because I've always been more of an introvert, and Kurt just is so great for the community and such a vocal person that I don't know, Kurt. I just want to tell you that I love you, and your friendship has meant a lot to me over the last year and a bit. And there's not a lot of friends I have like you, and you're an awesome guy, and I'm glad you found your truck.
Well,
Aww.
I mean, how do I say this?
Alright, stop. I'm cutting it there. I'm cutting it there. That was a wonderful round. Thank you guys for participating. I'll give you each about a minute to give closing statements where you can reiterate some of your arguments, maybe get some last-minute votes, or plead for votes if you want. You each have exactly 1 minute. If you go over, I'm going to cut you off. All right.
I'll go first.
I'll let Rhyme go first. All right, go now.
Okay. I love Kurt so much that I think you guys should vote for him in every single poll, because that's how much he means to me. And I know Kurt, he's making the Hall of Fame. He lost his medal to Lane King this season, and I really want him to know that he's cherished by the community, because he means a lot to me as a friend and a person. So if you could please go back to those straw polls that Moose has linked, and please click on Kurt. That would mean a lot to me and Kurt, and I know he'll really appreciate it. So thank you, guys.
All right.
Now look, I know that things may look dire, but I said that the Dallas Cowboys would win the Super Bowl, or the New England Patriots, or the Denver Broncos, or the entire AFC, and they obviously did. So I must say that I still was correct. However, I understand that you love me, Reimer. But I must say, without a doubt, that I love you absolutely more than you love me, Reimer. Without a doubt, there's not a question in my mind that I love you more than you love me.
Okay.
That's so tragic.
I think we're just going to leave it there for that, and we'll give the crowd just a couple more seconds to get their last votes in before we announce the winner of this episode, because after all, this is a competition, and there is one winner and one loser. Okay, last votes have been in, and it looks like the first round, the topic was, should pros go easy on noobs? Reimer was saying yes, Kurt said no, and Reimer wins that round by a slim margin. Round 2, Gretzky with a hockey stick and Doritos against Uncle Sam, 2 cheese pizzas and a pizza slicer. Reimer takes that with a pretty wide margin. However, round 3 is a complete blowout, and Kurt absolutely wins it. So overall, final score is 2-1 in favor of Reimer. Congratulations, Reimer, on winning this very first episode of Crosscheck. You got any words as the winner?
Oh, thank you, Moose. I got my whole victory speech written out. I'm just joking. It was great I think this is an awesome show, Moose. I think Kurt lied a little bit when he said I was the best content producer, because I love TMZ and I can't wait for that to come back, Kappa. Really though, and this is such a good show, and I'm really excited to see what you do with it. Big shout out to Kurt also. Kurt, I got really excited when he told me I was invited on the show, and even more excited when you said Kurt was going to be on it with me. It was really nice to get to talk to Kurt again, since it has been a really long time since I talked to either of you guys on Skype. I think it might have been a award show, so it was just total blast. I'm really happy the community here is too watching. Um, I really only stay around for the community since I say how much I hate the game. So I think you guys are a lot of fun, and I'm really happy you guys checked out the show.
Okay. And Kurt, as the loser, you don't get any closing remarks. I'm sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
And we will just go ahead and wrap things up for today. First and foremost, I want to thank my two guests, Kurt and Reimer. It was my pleasure having you guys. Thank you guys for showing up on this first episode of the show. I have a couple other shout-outs to give out. One for MLGBX, who is not here today, but I promised him one yesterday. Shout out to Two Deuce for sponsoring our very first segment of the show, and to the new league management, who have been doing a great job, and to Cubs, my partner in crime. And Prof, stay wrecked. Eric is my BFF. If the viewers have any suggestions for topic debates, guests, or even graphics, because, you know, I'm a graphic machine, but if you think you can do better and you have the time and you can make me one, feel free to send it my way. I'm going to make a thread on the forums later. Please leave all those suggestions there. I'll try to integrate as many as possible. Congrats again to our winner of this episode, Reimer. Thanks to Kurt for showing up and trying his best. CHL begins this Sunday, so be sure to tune in for that. And I'll be back
Sign-ups.
Yeah, sign up for Season 7 if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitch and keep up the BM if you... what am I saying? Oh, next Thursday at 8 Eastern, we will have two brand new guests going head-to-head in the same format as we had today. And still just about to book those two great, prestigious guests as we speak. And that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.